for you, like growing up?
I used to play with myself, but when I got older and I found out what comes with it, I stopped.
What comes with it?
Yeah. I don't want people to think I'm crazy.
As a dude, you are to work your entire life. Your woman should not have to work. If she does have to work, it's considered she has to really work by dating you. Take care of your family, pay the bills, maintain your appearance, and never ask for nothing. Never expect no extra. Never ask for no money. Never ask for nothing. Now, look, in this world, we reward dogs for sitting down.
True story. I went to Mr. Chow in LA and I was meeting Holly Robinson Pete there, and her husband used to pay for the Cowboys at one point. Jerry Jones was sitting and she walked up to him and said, "Hi, Mr. Jones." And he was with his wife and he said, "Would you ladies like to join me and my wife for dinner?" And he was like, "It's mandatory." And we tried to say no and we couldn't say no because of his charm. And he was like, you ladies have to try these duck tacos. It's the best thing ever. I came all the way from Dallas just to have these duck tacos. Now, mind you, Jerry was like, "I'm gonna make it for you ladies though, because it has to be made the way that I make it." Jerry then proceeds to take his fingers, grab the taco meat, put the taco meat inside of the shell, because that's how you have to make it. But normally people would grab a fork, a spoon. He grabs them. He's like, ladies, you're gonna, licking his fingers. Ladies, you're gonna love it. Rolls up the taco and he hands it to me and I look at it and the whole world stopped. This man literally just licked his fingers and made this taco. Not once, not twice, several times. And we are looking at each other like, what do we do? When I tell you I took a bite of this taco with my eyes open, afraid, like I'm gonna be sick, I don't know what I'm gonna get. And Jerry says, "It's good, huh?" She looks at me and without fail, she goes, "Yum, right?" I literally took a bite of that taco against my will. But it was something about his charm and who he is and how he presents and how he takes over the whole room and how he feels larger than life and how everything feels okay once he's talking.
One thing that I will say though, I feel like we need to normalize, and I don't want to offend no women when I say this.
Offender.
But men need to normalize almost like training your woman. You know, a lot of women have, we've been self-sufficient, independent. So we're used to a certain, paradigm. Sometimes you have to be patient enough to be like, no, talk to me like this. I'm your man. And you can't just be like giving up on your woman after the fifth argument. Sometimes it's going to take 15 arguments for her to realize, okay, this is how I talk to my man. Because I wasn't trained for that.
Because you're trying to train something into a woman that she can't be trained into. See, here's the problem with the modern woman. She wants you to train her bad habits out of her. The problem is, after a certain age, you can't be trained.
Tell us the truth. Yeah. I don't want people to think I'm crazy. Yeah, we want to know. But it's there. When you masturbate, you're having sex demon,
Really? I never heard that. I've heard
incubus and succubus. And it also will be in a relationship with you and cause problem in your actual relationship.
Is that demon masturbation?
Well, I'm not having a problem with my actual relationship, but I'm
These boys in trouble, man. These boys are in trouble. They don't want to have to accept the reality of the fact that there's someone else that fulfills her fantasy. See, you got to be that woman's fantasy. If you're not her fantasy, if when that woman dream about being intimate, you are not that dream. If you're not the one that woman is thinking about when she thinks about being intimate, if you're not the one that makes her have to go and get herself right when she's at work or she's at home or wherever she is, if you're not the one that makes her have to go clean her stuff up, then homie, I'm telling you, it's just not going to work. You're never going to be able to be that. Either you are or you aren't. That's why I tell you, man, shut up in this and obedience. If a woman can't give you that, she's never going to give you that. If you have 5 arguments, then you're going to have 15 arguments, then you're going to have 27 arguments, then you're going to have 59.6 arguments. You're going to keep arguing with the woman, because if you allow her to argue and you argue back with her, that is the foundation of your communication.
This is how I met her. I showered her. I fed her. I also bought her a dress from Fashion Nova. I made her fall in love with me, and now I got her forever.
What makes a man go that route? Like, what type of condition and position are you in where you feel like you see that woman and that is the woman you should make your own? okay, I'm going to take her. She's at nothing now. I'm going to build her up into something that I want. Like, how lowly must you think of yourself? Now, yeah, the end result, all these types of things look good to women. Women love this type of stuff. It always looks good to them. The bottom line is, I tell you, man, it's not going to last. It's not because I don't want it to last. It's because it's not going to last. Why isn't it going to last? It isn't going to last because a woman doesn't appreciate the man who upgrades her. If you find a woman and she has nothing and you give her everything, she doesn't appreciate you for giving her everything. Yes, on the rise up as things are changing for her, she appreciates the change in her life. But it gets to a point where she doesn't appreciate you for doing that anymore. Because what happens? People view her differently now. Get a woman in shape. If you go make Lizzo your girl, get her in shape, the attention she gets from being in shape is going to change. And she is never going to appreciate you. The dude who got Jennifer Hudson in shape, they ain't together no more. When you do that, if you take a woman at her worst and build her into her best, she is not going to appreciate you and respect you from building her to her best, because at her best, she forgets what it's like to be at her worst because that's not her life anymore. And so you simply can't. I'm telling you, man, that boy done created his own Cinderella story, man. It's crazy out here.
Man. I want to be the best lover my woman has ever had. You know what I mean? And I realized that staying in that corner was not going to be it. Somebody's going to please her. When I get up after having sex and leave, she has to always go to the vibe.
I had a partner that was like that for me. I was like, I was doing a countdown, like, fall asleep, please.
You know what I'm saying? And
man, let me tell you something. Here's the real deal. If a woman isn't finding pleasure when you're intimate with her, she don't really want you. This is what you guys don't understand. This shit is about attraction first. Physical attraction should be at the forefront of your interaction with a woman. Now, we live in a society where they tell you, well, all y'all think about is sex. All y'all think about is physical attraction. That's all y'all think about. Here's another problem. A woman who uses a toy is gonna have problems responding to you as a man. I don't deal with women who use toys. A woman who uses a toy starts to live in a sexual fantasy world where she needs her fantasy in order to be pleased. What you have to understand is a woman who uses these electronic devices, there's an electric pulse that her body starts to rely on in order to find intimate pleasure. You can't be a better lover than an inanimate phallic object that never goes down. You can't compete with that.
I had a partner that had to do that. I remember my baby mama, when I left one morning, I was going to the train station and I get to the train and I didn't have my Metro card. And I'm like, damn, I gotta go back to the house, get the Metro card. And as soon as I open the door, I was like, really? Yeah. Right? And I didn't realize it's because she wasn't ever always satisfied. Like, sex was one thing, but satisfaction is another. When you say protection, providing, it's not just money. It's not just protecting from other people. It's from your own insecurities, projecting your shit onto them and limiting their growth because you weren't willing to go nowhere. You know, so I'm on a journey with her.
I do not deal with women who use toys. I do not deal with women who watch porn. Those are two things I'm not going to do, because that woman is in a different realm. She's not even in the real world when it comes to what pleases her. She's being pleased by her imagination. So her ability to connect with you physically is going to be limited. I'm telling y'all what I know. So if this man talking about the woman, and then look at the other woman and say, I had somebody like that, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you got somebody like that because you spend too much time pleasing and pleasuring yourself with an inanimate object. What you're doing is you are putting yourself in a position where you are being intimate with evil demons when you self-pleasure. It opens you up to a realm from the other side that interferes with your ability to bond with someone in real life.
If you see an old lady walking down the street and she got a bunch of bags in her hand, right? Would you help her to the house?
Why wouldn't I?
If you see a man walking down the street with a bunch of bags in his hand,
An
you gonna help
old
him?
man?
Nah, just a man. A strong
But
man.
you said an old woman.
I'm gonna get to my point. Would you help him?
If it was an old man?
If it's an old
No.
older
A regular man like me.
Man, look at the energy of these women, bro. Look at the aggressive, confrontational, combative energy of these women.
Anybody here saying
No,
you're
because
not
you
gonna help her,
healthy
right?
and 10
All right.
times alive, and you stronger than I am.
Right. So when somebody portrays strong energy, it makes you feel like they don't need any help. So why would you help that person?
Church.
Females are portraying masculine energy. So why would you want to?
Why though?
Why would you want to?
Because guys are now.
Y'all don't give us the need
And I'm dead
anymore,
serious.
so it
Y'all
feels
are.
like,
Bro,
Bitch ass.
so you dated a lot of? Because if you didn't date a lot of,
I
don't
haven't
speak on a
dated
lot of
a
niggas.
lot of
Like,
but I see social media and I see what's
That's not
happening.
reality, though.
It is.
You know it's
It
not
is
reality.
though.
Bro, I don't deal with women who be on social media, man. I don't deal with it. I just won't. That eliminates a totally different group of women. I don't deal with a woman who's on social media. If she don't have the willpower or if somebody didn't institute the type of spiritual astuteness in her when she was growing up, where she can't avoid like just being on social media, man, or just listening to all this foolishness and all that, man. If she can't avoid it, man, then I just don't want her.